Blessed believer, good evening, good evening. Welcome on in, welcome on in. Oh, wait. Welcome. I see you guys joining on in. Thank you for being early. Let me turn this down. I'm shouting. Welcome, everybody. I see you, Miss Daphne. I see you. Welcome on in, everybody. Let me post it to my story, too. I don't know how to do this. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Drop in the chat, thumbs up. How is the audio? Is the audio good? Okay, I see you, Miss Daphne. Thank you so much. Let me just send it out one time, and then I can't keep doing this. Hold on, yo. Why this make you feel like this? Why this make you feel like this? Why this make you feel like this? Let me just post it one time and then hold on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for joining on in early. Thumbs up in the chat. How is the audio? Thumbs up in the chat. As you all know, once we hit 5K likes, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Please, y'all, enjoy my tunes. You know, we are still praying for my country, Jamaica. So, you know, I got my tunes going in the background, okay? Ren Patrice, welcome on in. I see you. So, folks here that are new here or just coming on in, once we hit 5K likes, we're gonna go ahead and get started on my trending topic in healthcare. You guys know we briefly slide through that trending topic in healthcare. Then we have a special guest who I'm going to interview. And then after that, we're going to wrap it up with some professor tips, okay? So once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? Dr. Lolo, I see you. Welcome on in. We're grabbing our daily heartbeat, and we are getting to 5K likes. I'm not going to say too much because last week, what is something called? TikTok tried to give me a violation because they said I was on here begging and aggressively asking y'all to do what y'all do. So just sit back. Y'all know what to do. You know, y'all know how to get me to start to my trending topic and then to my interview and then to the professor tips. Y'all know what to do. I see Ren Patrice already doing what she got to do. I see Dr. Lola already doing what she got to do. And Miss Daphne still in here doing what she got to do. And y'all just do what you got to do. I don't want to be on here begging because I got a violation from TikTok the other day. So just... This is it. Why this make you feel like it? What? What this make you feel like you? What? Why this make you feel like it? I'm ready. Jacquel, what's going on, Jacquel? What? She's very... Okay. That's just one time. Y'all know we represent Jamaica right now, okay? I see you. Thank you so much for grabbing a daily heartbeat. Dr. Lewis, welcome on in. Y'all know what we're doing. We getting to 5K likes. Once we get to 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started. I need a pen. I see you. Thank you for dropping the flag. I see you.
back and turning back. She a link up over both more. The light is stop. Say you a go chop. Say you a go shoot. Say you a go shot back down. And the only man she want. The only man she want. The last cheat. Say you a go cheat. Say she a go beat. Say you a go beat. But me and the only man she want. The only man she want. Yeah. Each and every princess.
Did I ask you, is the audio good? Drop in the chat. Thumbs up. Is the audio good? My people. Thank God, my people in Jamaica, they're doing good. You know, they still don't have no power, no Wi-Fi, no cell service, but we were able to send some other family members to go check on my grandma and some other folks, and they are doing good. So we're just waiting to once they get their power back and their lights back. And you know, it's a third world country, so when there's no power, there's barely no water pressure. You know, it's a lot going on, but my people are still alive, thank God. Okay, but we repping for Jamaica. Okay. Oh, the audio is good. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Once we hit the 5K likes, y'all know what to do. 5K likes. I see you dancing, Jacquel. Your friend was there for a wedding. They just got home Sunday. Yeah. I heard that there was a lot of people. I heard that there were some people who were stuck in hotels, and it was just a lot going on. But we're gonna build back. Jamaica will definitely be built back once. I'm not gonna get into that, y'all. But just pray for Jamaica. Pals, welcome on in. I see you. We're getting to 5K likes. Once we get to 5K likes, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. I don't want to be on here begging y'all. You know what to do. I'm excited. Let's get started. I want to get started. I want to talk about what I got to talk about. Because we got some things to talk about. Hey, pals, I see you. Where's my trending topic? Blessed believer, I see you liking the live. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We almost there. 2.8K likes. Once we hit 5K, y'all know the drill. Once we hit 5K. I see you liking the live, Dr. K. Moderator, I can't keep going back and forth. Let's share and repost. I can't keep. I get confused. And then when you go live, like the share button, they hide the share button. I can't get all of this. 3.1K likes. I see y'all. 3.1K likes. Once we hit 5K, just share, repost, and just do what you doing, pal. You good, pal. Blessed believer, how are you doing? Thank you for being here, blessed believer. Dr. Lewis, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Miss Daphne, hold tight. We're coming to you, Miss Daphne. Okay, 4K likes. We almost there. Let me get my stuff. Hold on. Let me get my stuff ready. Hold on. Let me make it bigger so I can see. Because this is some. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that, blessed believer. I love you much better. Okay, 4.2 likes. Y'all almost there. We almost there. Let's get started. Okay, no problem, Miss Daphne. I'll see you. Oh wait, time, different time zone. Okay.
Nobody chat come face me with something. Like how me have 22 in a me something. Then I feel you so forget the next dozen food. Press trigger me no press people button. Nobody chat come face me with something. Like how me have 22 in a me something. Then I feel you so forget the next dozen. Just give me the light and pass the job. Yeah, me never dies and I got to know which one.
Okay, you guys are amazing. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Y'all know I switched it up and get professional real quick. Well, welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Let's start, okay? It is going to, yes, Dr. Lewis, I'm going to give y'all some gerbs. I'm just stopping by. I've been sick all week. I'm going to bed. Good night. Rem Patrice, be safe. Like I always tell you, put yourself first. So thank you so much for stopping by and thank you so much for showing support as always. Okay, Rem Patrice, get well soon. Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. For the new folks here, you guys know we do my trending topic in healthcare first. Then we do the interview. The interview can be a variety of guests. And you guys know I like to show you guys a variety of different people who come from different walks of life. And then the third segment is wrapping it up with some professor tips. The professor tips, this is a good professor tips. It's needed. I got a lot of messages about it. So we're going to run back this professor tips. Okay. Rem Patrice, I see you. Thank you so much for your support. So I want to jump right into segment one, our trending topic in healthcare. Nia Blue, welcome on in. I see you. You joined just in time. We're doing our trending topic in healthcare. How is my microphone? Is the audio good? This is a new mic that I just got. I'm just testing it out, trying to see what's going on. Moderator, I see you. Thank you so much. Trending topic is going to be SNAP benefits and discounts. Okay. Yeah, we've got to take a deep breath on this one. Okay. First and foremost, when I discuss this, there's no judgment here, okay? And also for those recipients, there should be no judgment when it comes to SNAP benefits or your EBT cards or whatever. We all go through rocky times in life, and we should be so grateful that we have a government that is able to assist us in our times of need, okay? AKA SNAP benefits. That's one of the ways that the government assists us in our times of need or when we, fall short. Okay, that's what they're supposed to do. But we're not gonna get into that. But today's trending topic in healthcare, I wanted to just breeze through some of the SNAP recipients' benefits and discounts. I know in some states it may differ, and I know right now in some states you guys may not be getting your funds for the month of November, and we I don't want to get into that part, okay? But I wanted to come on here today and share with you all discounts in other areas that you may not know of. Okay, so let's jump right into it. You guys know I don't say my trending topic too long. I'm just breezing through the topics. These topics are important. I repeat, these topics are important. Okay, so I may repeat this trending topic twice so you guys know. You guys know I always bring real news, real facts, real information. So I'm looking down. I have multiple screens. Okay. SNAP recipients can get discounts on groceries, internet, utilities, and admissions to museums and other attractions. I repeat, SNAP recipients can get discounts on groceries, internet, utilities, and admission to museums and other attractions. Okay, ask them people, hey, I got this card. I'm a recipient of such and such. Do you have discounts for such and such? Ask them people. Pull that pride away. Okay, let's jump right into it. Services like Instacart, DoorDash, and Amazon offer discounts on grocery delivery. I repeat, services like Instacart, DoorDash, and Amazon offer discounts on grocery delivery. They offer discounts on Prime memberships and some other services. While programs like Museums for All, if you have children and you are a SNAP recipient, you can go to some museums and they will provide you a discount for being a SNAP recipient. Okay? Programs like Museum for All provide free or reduced admission to participating cultural institutions. Okay? Don't just keep them kids at home because you ain't got no money to go here and there. Take them to a museum. You may get free admission or reduced price admission. Okay? Recipients may also qualify for discounted internet through programs like the Affordable Connectivity Program or Lifeline. I repeat, Recipients may also qualify for internet through programs like the Affordable Connectivity Program or Lifeline, and utility companies offer discounts to those who are on SNAP. I repeat, and some utility companies offer discounts to those who are on SNAP. Briefly, let me run through these. Delivery services, Instacart and DoorDash, they have offered discounts for SNAP recipients, such as 50% off of grocery orders and waived delivery fees. Okay? Retailers, some grocery stores offer online SNAP purchasing. Check with your local stores to see if they participate. So, even though you guys may not be getting your funds, your EBT funds this month, or I don't know how when y'all gonna start getting them, you guys should be aware of these other resources for being a SNAP recipient. Okay, I want to briefly talk about internet and phone affordable connectivity program, also known as the ACP. SNAP recipients can get a discount of up to $30 per month on broadband internet service and a one-time discount on a laptop, tablet, or desktop. That one-time discount is $100 off. Okay. The Lifeline program. This federal program provides a discount on phone or internet service for low income households, and SNAP recipients are among those who qualify. Okay, now one more thing. I want to wrap it up with museums and YMCA. Through the Museums for All, take notes, through the Museums for All initiative, SNAP recipients can receive free or reduced admission to over 1,500 participating museums across the country by simply showing their EBT card and a photo ID. Okay? Now, the YMCA, many local YMCAs offer reduced membership rates for SNAP participants, often at a half price rate for access to facilities, classes, and programs. Okay? So, once again, you guys know I briefed through these trending topics. Some of you guys may not be receiving your SNAP benefits for the month of November, depending on what state you're in, but I do want you to know and be aware of these other resources and benefits for being a SNAP recipient. So, if all of you in here who are may not be on SNAP or may not, have an EBT card, we all know somebody who knows somebody. Okay, and it's always the more you know. Janae, welcome on in. We were just talking about the trending topic was SNAP benefits and its discounts. Even though some of us may not be receiving the benefits for the month of November, there are other resources and benefits and discounts for being a recipient. I wanted to make sure I came on here and shared that with you all. Y'all on here may not be SNAP SNAP recipients, but we know somebody who knows somebody. Okay, the more you know. Okay, thumbs up in the chat. We got it. There's discounts. Once again, there's discounts on groceries, internet, utilities, and admissions to museums and other attractions. Thank you for grabbing your daily heartbeat. Okay. Call T-Mobile. Tell them you're a recipient. Call AT&T. Tell them you're a recipient. Go to your local museums. Bring your EBT card. Okay. Don't be afraid. Perfect. Okay, so I'm about to bring my guest on up. We're going to get into this interview. I'm excited for this interview. Okay. Before we bring my interview up, housekeeping duties. We all know we have my live goal posted, and then we are grabbing our daily heartbeat and liking the live as our session continues. Okay. For the new folks here, a thumbs up or praying hands is me just acknowledging you guys in the chat. I don't want to interrupt my guest. So a thumbs up and a praying hands is me just acknowledging you guys in the chat. Okay. Let me go ahead and bring up my guest. Miss Daphne, welcome on in. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you. Everybody chat. How is the audio in the chat? Thumbs up in the chat if the audio is good.
Are you able to see me? Let me turn on my light. Okay, is this better? I think that's better. Let's see here.
Okay, yes, now we see you. Okay, Miss
Okay,
Daphne,
are you
well,
able? Awesome.
you can hear me? We good? Everybody good? Okay, yes, they're saying that. Okay,
I
perfect. Thank you so
can.
much, Miss. Perfect. Ms. Daphne, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to step into office hours with Dr. Johnson. I know you are busy and I know you have meetings to go to at 5, so I won't keep your time too long, but the information and the resources you have is valuable. We met through Frame Greetings when we were on her live, and we followed each other, and I checked out
Yes.
your page and I said, hey, I got to bring you on over here. I'm big on collaboration, I'm big on networking, and I'm big on if I see somebody doing some great work in their community, I want you to come on over here and share that with us as well too. Okay, so thank you so much for taking the time to step into office
And
hours
thank
with
you so,
Dr. Johnson.
yeah,
So
thank you for having me. I'm so excited to do this. And
yes.
I'm just branching out here on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. So it's a little different for me. But again, I'm
Okay.
excited to share information. And thank you for the information you gave in regards to the SNAP benefits. Because,
Right.
so many of us think that it's just groceries, right? And so, and like
Right.
you said, if you know someone that knows someone and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so thank you for that information. And again, thank you for having me. So,
No problem.
I think, I thought about what would it be that I would say today. And basically, I think, as the Mind Economy series has done, Own Your Story segment, in what we're doing right now, we're putting together an online class in that regard. I'm using and intertwining a lot of the stories and things and pivots that I've had to go through as a business owner and to be where I am. So, like
Mm-hmm.
you said, talking about professional and also business, how I really arrived to where I am and things like that. So, in a nutshell, I come from a 30-year mortgage finance background.
Okay.
And in that, because I worked for Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and being in the corporate world, um, I found that I took all those skills and using those skills every day as a business owner.
Right.
Um, the thing about that is because of my exposure in those areas, I do see a difference in what I can then, provide to businesses, especially when it comes to the paperwork. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how
Exactly.
many of you out there, you run in your businesses and you do what you do because you're specialized in what you do and you want to
Right.
focus on that. But here
Right.
comes the compliance and the, reporting of things, not only tax returns, but, you're
Tax returns.
talking, your financial statements, your business
Right.
plan, and just all the paperwork part and processes that your business needs to then implement to run smoothly. So I have taken all the knowledge that I've learned through corporate and incorporate that to be able to help people. Um, the
I love
mortgage
that.
crisis got me ready. The
Okay,
mortgage
we're gonna talk
crisis
about it.
got me ready.
we we gonna talk about
Okay.
it. I have a
Okay.
series of questions. I have a series of questions for you too. Do y'all once again before we get started?
Oh,
Do y'all see why she's up here? Subject matter expert. She came prepared and she came ready. She does run down her resume, run down her accolades, and run down her experience. I love that. We only invite subject matter experts over in office hours with Dr. Johnson. Ms. Daphne, can you start us off? Obviously, with this being office hours, can you start us off with your educational background, any special certifications?
sure. I actually have an AA in broadcasting, a BA in radio, television, film, and then also the 30-year mortgage finance, which I have been certified because of the number of
Hmm.
years. So I'm a subject matter expert in mortgage loan underwriting and risk and due diligence, and a master's in business admin.
I love that. Thank you so much, and I love how
So
you
those are pretty much my awards and accolades. I have received recent certifications through certain small business
mhm.
development centers and things of that nature as well.
I love that. Now, let me ask you something. What would you say to someone who wants to start a business? What is a good step one? What's the good foundation to start at?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, know yourself.
I
Mm-hmm.
know that believe it or not, the business plan is important, and I would say definitely have a business plan, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
in the business plan, you're going to put together your mission, your vision of what you see for your business. But just as important as a business plan is you knowing yourself. And I
Mm-hmm.
say that to say, as a visionary, would you, say you starting up your business because you know that you make that great cake that you now want to sell to others. You want to know who you are as a leader. You want to know your ebbs and flows of, what makes you tick, what doesn't, right? So as
Right.
you know yourself better, the better you can lead. So I'm big on mindset, who you are as a person and what you bring to the table. And once you know your strengths and weaknesses, you can then take that and strengthen your own business and then strengthen others along the way, which is so important because teamwork is what makes the dream work. You
Exactly.
definitely want a good, strong team. Yes.
Speaking of teamwork, that's a good segue to my next question. Is it easier to have a business partner, or is it easier to go in on it all on your own? What would you suggest?
It's funny. I've talked to several businesses. I have
Mm-hmm.
solopreneurs who
Mm-hmm.
just don't have, they have maybe, say, contracting teams that come in to help them achieve certain business goals. But then there's also those larger companies who need a team to actually hire on to do what they do. So it depends on
Right.
the business, it depends on the person. Me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I have actually grown my team, meaning, well, my son is my business partner in that when we had our coffee shop bakery, he was right there being a software engineer. He does
Mm-hmm.
all of the digital and engineering when it comes to websites and just, I mean, he's still not only the website, but building the back end of the business, right?
Right.
So he's very strong in that. And then with the mind economy, because MQRS is the mindful business where I do the coaching and consulting, but the mind economy series adds, and Aisha Kotsaka, my business partner there, is adding the digital, the visionary part of it, the personal development part of it. And she's just so strong in that. So I personally am building a team, and I think that it really has made everything I do so much stronger. So, in using myself as an example, I think
Mm-hmm.
that, and you cherry pick your team, right?
Right.
You don't want just anyone on your team. You definitely, as you grow, should consider a team because that's how the nature of growth is
Right.
bringing on more people.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. And as you know, I do my before each interview, I do my homework. So I was going to mention Miss Aisha, and I was going to mention the Mind Economy series. So we're going to get into that, okay? But speaking
Okay.
of, for the everybody just joining on in, we are interviewing subject matter expert as it relates to business administration and mortgage, okay? Miss Daphne, what would you say is the importance of business funding as it relates to grants or SBA loans? What's the importance of business funding?
Yes. Well, obviously, the importance of having more money, more money, more money, right?
Okay,
So the
okay.
more money you have, like say in cash flow, the
Mm-hmm.
the more you can tap in and do different things that you need to accomplish in your business. So
Right,
sometimes we do need to get business loans, and
right.
they have a lot of low interest business loans that are out there, which I would say being business funding
Mm-hmm.
ready is that's where it comes to that paperwork and being say organized on paper, right?
Right,
So
right.
that's where that's really, really strong. And I can help any of you out there if you need more information on that. So once a business loan, there's different types, right? You can do a line of credit with your bank. You can
Mm-hmm.
then do a micro loan. You can do micro loans are loans under 50,000. And then you can also do an SBA 7A loan, which is mainly more commercial driven, where you
Right.
have the commercial property along with the loan for your business. And then they have the SBA 504 loan. And I personally did receive a micro loan, paid that off through SBA, as well as an equipment financing loan for my business. And I wasn't in a position to receive, like, say, a larger SBA loan at the time, which is really interesting. Just to give you a tip on business loans, say in 2015, when I opened Daphne's Desserts, they weren't using W-2 income. If you were working as a business, they
Mm-hmm.
weren't using that income in qualification. Now, in a community advantage loan through SBA, they are using W-2 income along with your business income to qualify you for the loan. So
Okay.
that's huge. On a startup, and then see, you're going to look at different things. If you're a startup, you definitely, your financials and, say, what we call our financial projections, we're going to look real strong at that. And of course, your overall business, what type of business, and so on and so forth. But for those businesses that have been actually, say 2 years or more in business,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to look at your tax returns and financials to see how, your revenue looks.
Right.
So that's sort of a high level of, say, a business loan, right? Or business financing. But I would say anybody out there that's considering getting business funds, start with maybe receiving a line of credit with your
Mm-hmm.
bank or credit union. Credit unions are usually more lenient, and they also usually have lower interest rates. So that's something to think about. And then in terms of, you asked about the business loans, and what other loans were you interested?
Grants. Grants.
And grants. And grants, you have to be really patient with grants, because of course they have the grant watch out there, they have grants.gov.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't fit within the category of what they're looking for, you'll be out of the box for it, right? So I would say, and my advice on grants would be, take your time, do your research behind who's giving the grant and why. And you never know, you may know someone who's received that grant before. You can get a
Mm-hmm.
little tip to find out what they're looking for. And of course, it's always good. You can hire a grant writer,
Right.
someone who actually has been successful in receiving grants. So grants are one of those things that, just take your time with the grant applications, take your time with researching who the grantors are, and just keep applying, apply. Some are easier to get than others, and so on. Yeah.
Right.
I did
Thank you so much for
receive
taking.
a Tory Burch grant. Yeah.
Uh huh. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Speak to the people. You
Okay.
received a Tory Burch
Yeah.
grant.
So
Okay.
I did receive a Tory Burch grant for, actually, then my micro loan. It was a higher interest rate. Believe it or not, at the time it was 8.25. And so what Tory Burch was doing, along with Bank of America, they ended up giving, they actually gave me a much lower rate and forgave
Mm-hmm.
part of the loan, which allowed me to then pay it off quicker. So there's
Wow.
all
Nice.
sorts of ways they will do grants. Yeah.
One of my supporters in the chat is asking which type of loan would you suggest is best for an assisted living facility?
Ah, an assisted living. It depends on where it's located.
Okay.
Um, but believe it or not, if you look, go to the SBA, and there is a drop down where you can find out where the small business development centers are in your area, to then, and then they'll give you a list. Generally, if even if you use one small business development center, once you go in the system, if for some reason that one doesn't work for you, they'll always, do the referral. So that's what's good about the SBA and small business development centers, as well as they call them community financial
Mm-hmm.
development institutions. So the CDFIs, they're out there to help businesses in obtaining financing. So, and I would just say, truly, for anybody looking for financing, what I've done for my clients is I'll go through the whole process with them to show them
Okay.
what is going to be looked for. I help them get that paperwork together, and I guide them through the process as they're going through the loan process. And I've been successful in it, believe it or not, I can say I've received 2 loans and I've helped 3 other businesses receive loans. It's not a high number, but I'm going to tell you less than 1% of Black owned businesses receive financing.
Okay.
So trust me, I'm actually in the game to make a difference, to help make a difference so that we are loan ready. And I'm
Okay.
doing the work to help each and every business out there to understand what we're looking for and so that they get financing. So
I
I'm
love that.
really pleased at the number, even though it's only, say, 4 businesses, it's
Mm-hmm.
still high. It's a high number comparative to what is actually approved.
Right. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that and sharing all those tips. We're just going to briefly pause. Coach Jen just joined the chat and she said happy voting day. Okay. Today is voting day.
Yes,
Depending on what state or city you're in and what municipal is running elections, today is an important day. Today is voting. No, we are not voting for the president, but we are voting for other important individuals within our
yes,
communities. I hope you guys went out and exercised your right to vote. Happy voting day.
yes,
Coach Jen, thank you so much for
yeah.
stepping into the chat and sharing that with us. Okay. Thank you so much, Coach Jen. Let's jump right back into it. I want to get into some nitty gritty. Okay, Miss Daphne. Um,
Okay.
unlocking unlocking business consciousness. What does that mean to you? I told you I did my homework, so I went to your page and this is where I pull my questions from. Okay, so I want you to break it
Yes,
down for us. Okay, unlocking business consciousness. What does it mean to you?
yes. I will
Mm-hmm.
show you the book here.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha Kosaka and myself, as we partnered, we came together not only to get to know each other, but to talk about our mission and what we wanted to offer our customers. And I tell you, we wrote this book and it's been transformative for
Mm,
me, for her, and for everyone that's read it.
right.
I can't really say where it's for sale and all of that kind of stuff,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, what unlocking business consciousness is that your mind is your economy, and the personal development and walk that you do on your own is going to transform who you are in business.
Okay.
So that's really what it is. It's about bridging the gap. But so many of us think that I run a business and this is who I am. But so what we're trying to do is just help everybody shift their mind to know that who you are, you're going to bring that to your business.
Right.
So the more that you are in tune with who you are and doing the work on yourself, the better you are just to give to others and be in your business. So it's really about personal development, but it's also that it's the business of your mind.
I love that. Thank you so much for breaking it down, that explanation. I want to keep on going because I know you are pressed for time. Okay.
Okay.
Staying on the topic of business. Is entrepreneurship worth it? I'll repeat. Is entrepreneurship worth it?
It's funny. If you're an entrepreneur, it's
Mm-hmm.
something in your DNA. You're going to be an entrepreneur. There's, as much as I've worked in corporate,
Mm-hmm.
I would work on teams and I'd see information or things and processes done and say, hey, we need to do it this way or that way.
Right.
I was always an entrepreneur, whether I worked with a corporation or not. There's some of us that want to be an entrepreneur, but then maybe we're not really, entrepreneurish, right? So I don't. It's an individual walk, right? I would say to anyone that the first thing that you would do is, what's your gift? Ask yourself, what's that thing you'll do in your sleep? What's that thing that you love doing? What is the
Mm-hmm.
thing that you do to give to others? And that's your business. That's your business, because you can do it without thinking. And yes, you're an entrepreneur. And I think we all have a gift, so we
Right.
can all be entrepreneurs. And I think that what's important is to know where you're good at and where you're not. Maybe you're not as good in sales. Maybe you're not so good at running the team, being the manager, but you're so good at the digital side and of things. And it's like, that's your thing. So I think once you know who you are, know what you bring to the table, then you can hire other people to fill in the gaps. So that's the important thing, I think, in entrepreneurship. If you're not made to do, say, several things within the business, if you're not
Okay.
made up for that, hire somebody to do it, but go for
Mm-hmm.
your dream. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. They're in the chat. They're saying very true. I like that. Continuing with the
Yes.
question.
Thank you, Janae.
Continuing with the questions. Thank you, Janae, for your support. And her divine alchemy. I see you. Welcome on in. Miss Daphne, you mentioned small business support groups. You talk about that on your page. What is the benefits of
Mhm.
being in a small business support group? Briefly share it with us.
Yes. So, as I've been working with different businesses,
Mm-hmm.
we have now accumulated our likeness, right? There's the likeness that we all want to survive in our business.
Right.
So it's actually been happening through our workshops more, but we're going to be growing that part of it to where we will then end up having smaller group talks, just like we do really here on TikTok. If you think about it, it's like a smaller group talk where there's so
Mm-hmm.
many of us that we come up with a subject that everyone needs. Like we could just cover just all things financing. We can cover things like in anything pertaining to what that group needs. So that's basically what it is. It's us concentrating on what that group, and right now the group is small. It's not as large as I could see it growing to be. As more people then start to follow us and know what we're doing and bringing, visiting the website and so on and so forth. But yes, it's about empowering each other, coming
Mm-hmm.
together in likeness to then help those, and then the resources happen, right? Because when you
Right.
two or more are gathered, right, it's like we're
Okay.
sharing in our resources to help each other get to the next place.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love
Yeah.
that. Y'all, Miss Daphne's pressed for time, so welcome on in. For those of you who are just joining on in, business administration subject matter expert, Miss Daphne. She's teaching. She's talking to us about entrepreneurship. She's talking to us about the importance of business funding. She's going to talk to us about the importance of mortgage underwriting and making sure you have the right mortgage broker and making sure underwriting is actually for you. Okay, because we could have try to buy a house and have underwriting, and the underwriting is not for us. Okay, what I mean for us. Okay, Miss Daphne, let's continue
That's
because I know
right.
you're pressed for time. Miss Nini Legacy, I see you. Welcome on in.
So yeah,
Um,
let's
you
talk about
okay?
home
Sure, go ahead.
ownership and owning
Yeah,
a home, right?
right.
Let's talk about that and how important that is. And I mean, as we know, with rents going up and all that good stuff, whereas in owning a home, a portion of your mortgage payment could be a
Mm-hmm.
tax deduction. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the difference. That's one difference, let alone just peace of mind, right? But when it
Right.
comes to underwriting and when it comes to packaging any loan, just like even in a business loan, we're going to look at the borrower, right? And we're going to look at how long they've been on their job. So that
Right.
shows the lender's stability. We're going to look at their credit because the credit shows if they are paying back their liabilities, right? If you owe
Right.
something, are you paying it back? We're going to look at income. Well, how much do you make in correlation to how much you owe each month, right? And that's
Right.
called debt ratios.
Right.
And so we're going to look at that as well. And then we're going to look at the property. Where's the property located and what are the details of the property and so on and so forth. But I tell you guys, there's so many community advantage loans and home ownership. You can put as little as 3% down, 3.5% down, and so on and so forth. There are community and say city grants that are
Mm-hmm.
out there that will do down payment assistance. But I tell you, in any loan process, be patient. I hear
Right.
people, they'll complain that, oh, I had to give them this and I had to give them that. Just know that just like in receiving grants, when it's free money, it's a longer process. So on
It
the
is.
mortgage side, if you're going to get down payment assistance, things like that is going to take a lot longer. It's going
Right.
to be a little tedious in the information, but really you set your mindset to say, look, I am going to be confident that number one, I'll get the loan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be patient with not only myself, but the lender in gathering the information, because in that way, you're not stressed. And I tell you,
Exactly.
there's been so many people stressed going through that process, and it's not worth it. It's just
Right.
paperwork, and it's just a time that you'll go through to get to an end result, right?
Right.
So again, there's community home buyer programs. Know that the lender has to look through all those the tiers of what I mentioned: the borrower income credit, and then how much money you have in the bank, right?
Right.
And they're gonna size you up,
Mm-hmm.
And once they do that, they'll say, okay, this person can actually be a recipient for a home loan. So I would say there's a lot of condos, townhomes out there. Even if you live in Los Angeles like me, there certain programs. If you're a vet, that's a 0% down payment loan.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend that's a vet. I'm like, go buy,
Right.
because
Right.
you can, that's a pathway to home ownership. So,
Right.
I encourage home ownership. It's such a beautiful thing. There's so many benefits, and don't think that the prices are so high. That means that you don't belong there. And
Mm-hmm.
anything you go for, like if you just push yourself to do it, as a lot of us know, push yourself, make yourself go through the process, and believe it or not, doors will open. Doors will
Right.
open. So
Thank
I
you so much.
encourage home ownership.
Home ownership. Thank you so
Hmm.
much for sharing that, Ms. Daphne. I want to briefly switch gears, okay? You have a post where you're
Okay.
discussing what does it mean to have a good job? What do you mean by that? What does it mean to have a good job? What did you mean?
Right. And that's funny. Okay, so Dr. Johnson went way into the post. I love it. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
doing that work. So when he asked about my certifications, I did
Mm-hmm.
sit in a cohort of about 25 business coaches. And what we did was dive into a good job, good business, right? So
Right.
what came out of that was that you have to be happy on your job, right?
You do.
A good job is something that you align yourself with. So we found
Mm-hmm.
that that was really important. We found that management is so important when it comes to a good job. So if you're a
It
leader
is.
out there, if you're leading a team, if you're running your business, then you definitely want to, of course, impart patience. And I mean, I can go on and on about what leadership should look like when you're leading a team, but patience
Mm-hmm.
and grace is so there because everyone's different, right?
Right.
So, and then what came out of that too was in terms of training and onboarding. So, if you have a business, it is so important to train your staff, and communication is key. So,
It
a
is.
good job is something you align with. And anyone out there, there's no reason for you to be doing a job that you're not happy with. That's pretty much it. A good job is
Right.
something that you align with and that you're happy with.
I
Yes.
love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I did see the Mind Economy series in the chat, and I told you that was one of my questions. So,
Yes.
The Mind Economy series. Can you give us what's break it down for briefly break it down? I know you pressed for time, but what is the Mind Economy series, and
Yes,
what is
that's
your
okay.
reasoning? What is the reasoning for creating the Mind Economy series?
Yes, the reason for creating the Mind Economy series is to bridge the gap between personal development and business development, right? So you're running your
Mm-hmm.
business, but personally, you don't know how to really balance the two. So we want to bridge the gap, and that's to have people understand the importance of how your mindset
Right.
is your business.
Right.
So that is your mind is your business. And so that is basically in a nutshell what it is. And so we're offering tools, online services, consulting. Um, we're actually working on an AI agent right now. So stay tuned. So Dr. Johnson, I'll come back on and we'll talk about
Sure.
that as well. And we can grow together,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the Mind Economy, is bridging the gap of personal and business development.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Um, so
You're welcome.
we're here talking about business and this and entrepreneurship. Okay. Can we discuss Daphne's Desserts? Can you briefly share with us that journey? How was it for you creating and
Yes.
opening Daphne's Desserts?
Okay, so Daphne's desserts. Oh, and it's funny, and when you asking me these questions, I'm just getting excited and to share. But
Mm-hmm.
Daphne's desserts was born out of the mortgage crisis,
Okay.
and my son came home from college, and he was like, and my daughter was graduating high school, and I made a cake that I make all the time, and he was on a fast, and he's saying make it organic, so I ended up with two cakes, one inorganic, one organic. And
Mm-hmm.
at the prom party for my daughter, the organic cake tastes so much better. So here comes now Mother's Day, and in a card, my son said, "Mom, you can't do it alone. This is where I come in. Let's open the business."
Right.
And I was in the mortgage crisis because at that point I was just like poured into mortgage finance. I'm underwriting, and um, the market was dried up. And I thought,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this because I bake. I'm a natural baker and cook.
Mm-hmm.
So we set out to do Daphne's desserts. So we went in farmers markets. We actually it ended up getting asked to go on Shark Tank. We
Mm-hmm.
before they started. Isn't that something? I'm in the kitchen doing a video for Shark Tank. We didn't make it on the show, but it was
Mm-hmm.
such an experience through
Right.
the farmers market. And then about 6 years later, after raising the money, we ended up opening our retail shop. So we opened the coffee shop bakery in August of 2015, and
Mm-hmm.
we stayed open for 4 years. And the interesting thing about setting out to open Daphne's Desserts was the actual, I could just say that it ended up being one of our real special products was a 5 generation cake recipe. And
Okay.
we didn't even realize it was 5 generations.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's really special. We still actually are looking to when we're going to actually pivot and open the wholesale again, because we're going to be
Okay.
a straight wholesale lender. I
Nice.
mean, wholesale baker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Daphne's Desserts. And out of that experience with the MBA and with Daphne's Desserts, I was like, okay, there's so many things to state, federal, local city laws that I didn't realize even doing a master's until I ran
Right.
the business. And now, full circle, when I was part of, getting the grant from Tory Burch and all going through the process, I found out there was just a lot that I didn't know until I ran the business. And that's what led
Okay.
me to coaching, business coaching.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, all of you guys, we were discussing entrepreneurship. We were discussing business administration and forming your own business and the steps. But I wanted to make sure that Ms. Daphne was able to share her personal experience as it relates to business administration and as it relates to opening a business and opening a brick and mortar and just going through that whole process as a business owner, as a small business owner, as a minority small business owner. Okay. It's always good to hear about the tools and the experience, but then we also have to apply that to our personal experience and what we have done or what we have gone through or currently going through. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing your journey of Daphne's Desserts. I got two more questions for you, then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, Miss Daphne, you good?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
So in all of my interviews, I always like to incorporate some aspect of mental health. Okay, especially within the Black and Brown communities, mental health is even till this day still it's not so talked about, and it's they people folks still want to act like it's taboo. Okay, so Miss Daphne, what do you do, Miss Daphne, to stay on top of your mental health? What are some of your best practices that you personally partake in?
You know what's something? Okay, so I'm going to point to one thing. You see these flowers back here?
Mm-hmm.
I have fresh flowers. I have
Okay.
at least four bouquets of
Mm-hmm.
fresh flowers that I actually put together every week. That
Nice.
grounds me. It
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel good. I love flowers. A Epsom salt bath. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know I will break it down. Epsom salt baths help me a lot. And I found that when I have that quiet time to process through all of the things that I'm thinking, I find that I've learned to value that.
Right.
I love my alone time, valuing that. Um, and I'm exercising, but I could exercise a little bit more,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
will say, even what trumps all of it is just really making sure that I eat right.
Right.
Now, granted, I will go grab some things here and there, but I'm real
Mm-hmm.
careful about where I'll eat out. But I really try to get the fruits and vegetables in. I drink lots of water, drink lemon water.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm big on health, and I do have to contribute it to my grandfather. My grandfather, when he was in his 80s working in the yard, I asked him, I said, Grandpa, what are the keys to longevity? You're
Right.
working in the yard, and he actually lived to be 99, no ailments.
Wow.
He was not ever sick, you know. And my
Hmm.
grandfather taught me that eat healthy, think happy thoughts, and get your rest. So that's another thing. I will make sure that I sleep. I
Right.
will go, I even count it down. I'll go, if I go to bed at 1, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that means
Hmm.
that's 10 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep.
Right.
Oh, I only got
Right.
5 hours sleep. Tomorrow I'm getting 8 hours. So I make sure to get my rest, and I just make sure to eat right. And I just really do try to keep a happy mental attitude about things. And then that's where the flowers come in, the
Right.
relaxation of the Epsom salt baths. Yard work is another huge one, going to the beach. So I
Hmm.
have a whole list of things, being with
I
friends and
love that.
family.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, last question. This is how I wrap up all of my interviews by asking this question to all of my
Okay.
guests. What is your overall
Okay.
why? What is your overall why as it relates to the work that you do, as it relates to you being a subject matter expert in business admin, in mortgage writing, in being an entrepreneur? What is Miss Daphne's overall why?
Yeah. My overall why is to help people. I always have, and I still do. and I
Okay.
find complete joy in helping. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. And so, however that looks in running my businesses and everything else, to giving to my grandchildren, my daughter, my son, and all my friends and family is it's just what can I do to help? What can I do to give? And
Right.
that's really my bottom line. Yeah.
All right, I love that. Well, Miss Daphne, thank you so much for taking the time to step into office hours with Dr. Johnson. I know you have some other engagements to go to, but
Well,
before I drop Miss
yes, I
Daphne
do.
down, and shout out to Dr. Sims. I see you, Dr. Sims. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for stopping by, Dr. Sims. Um,
Yes, thank
before
you.
before I drop Miss Daphne down, can we just get her a couple round of applause in the chat? Round of applause in the
Thank
chat
you
for Miss
so
Daphne, okay? It's always important to give people
Thank
their flowers when they can
you.
see them. So can we drop some flowers and also drop some round of applause in the chat before I drop Miss Daphne down?
And I do
Okay,
want to
I
say
see.
thank you so much, Dr. Johnson, for having me. I'll
No
come
problem.
back. Let's do
Definitely.
this. And I really, enjoyed the time. And thank you for
Definitely.
the information on the SNAP benefits. I think that
Right.
was so good to give because right now, with food costs being so high, and anyone
Right.
out there that needs those benefits, and
Okay.
those that we know that need the benefits,
Right.
let's get them. Yeah,
Right, right.
right.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I appreciate you. Okay, I see y'all living up in the chat. I see you, and also for those the new folks, if y'all see me doing a thumbs up or a praying hands, I was just acknowledging you guys. I didn't want to interrupt our guests, but a thumbs up and a praying hands was me acknowledging you guys. Miss Daphne, once again, thank you
Yes.
so much for being here.
Yes.
We're definitely going to be
You're
in touch. Okay,
welcome.
I'll drop you down so you can keep your
Okay.
points. Okay,
Thank you. All righty. Thank you so much.
no problem. All right, now, did y'all enjoy that? Because I enjoyed it. Once again, today's interview, I know I'm a healthcare administration subject matter expert. I know I talk a lot about healthcare and higher education and being a professor, da 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 da. It's always important to, like I always tell you guys, bring on other folks who have a different walk of life. Bring on other folks who are doing something else. Some of you in here may not want to be a professor. Some of you in here may not want to work in healthcare, but some of you in here may want to open a business. Some of you in here may want to tap into entrepreneurship. Some of you in here may want to potentially go buy a house. Okay. You see why it's important to constantly have a variety. So I just want to make sure I always stress that. I bring on a little bit of everybody over to office hours with Dr. Johnson. Okay. Yes, let's believe it's a trust. Exactly. So before we wrap it up, I want to leave you guys with some professor tips. Now, we've done these professor tips before, but I want to run them back because I've been getting a lot of messages as it relates to the job hunting and interviewing. Shout out to you, Dr. Henry. I see you in the chat. Shout out to you, pals. I see you. So the professor tips, I'm gonna run down. I have the list here. I'm gonna run down this list. Okay. The first professor tip. This is preparing for your interview. Okay. A lot of us are on the job hunt. A lot of us are in the process of either applying to jobs or in the process of interviewing for jobs. Okay. I see y'all dropping the stickers in the chat. I see you, her divine alchemy. I see you, Dr. Henry. So y'all don't distract me. I get distracted easily. Just chill. Just chill. So I wanted the professor tips is going to be steps to prepare for an interview. Okay. These are just some steps. These are not these steps. These are just some steps y'all could use. Okay. I don't know everything. I just know a little bit of some things. Okay. Number one. Thank you. I see you, pals. I see you. Research the company. Okay. What does that mean? Briefly check out their website. Check out their LinkedIn page. Research the company. The Mind Economy series. I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow me so I can follow you back after the live. I appreciate you for being here. I see you. The Mind Economy series. Um, Professor tip number one, research that company you're applying to. Don't show up to that job interview blind. Do not show up to that job interview blind. Okay? Go on their website, go on their LinkedIn page. Her Divine Alchemy, you play too much. I see you, Her Divine Alchemy. Number two, number two, study the job description. Study the job description. What does that mean? Understand the requirements and understand the expectations of that role. What did I apply to? What did you apply to? Study the job description. Okay? Pause. Am I moving too fast? Let me slow down. For the first step was we're gonna research that company, hop on their website, hop on their LinkedIn page, and now okay, I see you, pals. Number two, study the job description. Study the job description, understand the requirements, understand your expectations in that role. We have to make sure we are studying the job description and we're not showing up to these job interviews blind. So when the people them ask you, "Oh, what do you like about this job?" and you there, I'm stuttering. Study the job description. Okay, let's go on to number three. Prepare your answers. Number three, prepare your answers. Okay, what do I mean by prepare your answers? Most jobs are going to ask you about the STAR method. You know, they want to analyze your behavioral or your situational, how you would respond or react in certain situations. So, what is the STAR method? Situation, task, action, results. What was the situation? What was the task at hand? What was the action that you took? And what was the result? That's behavioral. That's situational. That lets the interviewer kind of know how you would handle certain situations at their place of employment. Okay? Prepare your answers. Number four, practice Socratic questioning. Okay? What is Socratic questioning? Tell me about yourself. Y'all know they're gonna use the big words, but obviously Dr. Johnson gonna break it down for y'all. I'm always gonna break it down for y'all. Socratic questioning. Tell me about yourself. Don't we all hate that question? What you mean? Tell me about myself. I need a job. I'm telling you about myself. I need a job, ma'am, sir. I need a job. Don't worry about me. I need a job, right? So when you are tasked with answering a Socratic question, oftentimes it's best to reverse the question or kind of clarify what to cover. You know, tell me about yourself. Or what when you say that, what would you like to know? Would you like to know personally about me? Would you like to know, professionally and what roles and why I've chosen those roles? Kind of gauge and reverse it back to them so you can know what to cover and how to cover it. Okay, because guess what? It's mutual. Number five. Number five. Mock interview. Let's do a mock run through. Practice with your homeboy, practice with your homegirl, practice with your auntie, practice with your grandma, practice with your cousin, your sister, your brother, your friend. Let's do a mock interview. Do you know how many mock interviews I've done with my friends? They would call me on FaceTime. Okay, Anthony, I need you to ask me some questions. And you know what's crazy? They won't tell me what kind of, oftentimes they won't even tell me what kind of job it is. They'll just be like, I know you know all the good questions. Just ask them to me and let me know how I respond to them. I said, okay, cool. So practice mock interview. Okay. Number six, prepare your questions to ask. Like I said, it's a mutual situation. Yes, you need a job. Yes, you need your bills paid, but they have a seat to be filled. They have a vacancy that needs to be filled. It's a mutual situation. Ask them people some questions. Ask the employer some questions and do not be afraid to ask questions. What kind of questions can I ask in an interview? A good question that I've used in the past: what does success look like in this role? They love that. When I ask them that, they give me the job. What does success look like in this role? That shows them that, hey, he's actually interested in this job and he's actually interested in succeeding in this role. What does success look like in this role? Another question that you could ask: how has your overall experience been with this organization? How has your overall experience been with this organization? Okay, just two questions. Three, if you feeling like you want to put a little razzle dazzle on it. Okay. What does success look like in this role, and how has your overall experience been here at this organization? Not saying that those are the two questions that you have to ask. I'm just providing you guys two little examples. Okay. Let's keep it on going. Pals, you're doing a great job. Number seven, plan your journey. Even if you know where the interview is at, even if you know that it's close by your house and it's down the street from wherever you got to go, or you know the journey, plan your journey. Give yourself enough time for any hiccups on the way to the interview. Plan your journey. Don't procrastinate and leave just in time. At least give yourself 15 to 30 minutes to pull up to the place of employment and sit in the parking lot and kind of just, give yourself a little pep talk. Don't pull up to the people them job and you got to run inside to make it on time. Don't do that. Let's make sure we are planning our journey. Do not rush. Plan your journey. Thank you, Dr. Henry. Number 8, let prepare your tech. Prepare your tech. Let's say it is a Zoom interview or a Teams interview. Make sure your computer is up to date. Why every time you do a job interview via Teams or via Zoom or WebEx or whichever, the computer want to ask you, hey, updates. Make sure you go ahead and do those updates before, because if you wait till the last minute and you're doing the updates and you are 5 minutes, 4 minutes late to a Zoom interview, they're making note of that. Trust me, they're making note of that. So plan your tech. Plan your tech. Prepare your tech. Sorry. Prepare your tech. Number 9, plan what to wear. Plan what you are going to wear. You know how they always make fun of us when the Sunday best, or when it's the first day of school and we have our uniform and the fresh Nikes and the dunks took out from the night before and the fresh outfit on the hang. Plan your outfit. Miss Tiana, welcome on in. I see you. Welcome on in. We are just wrapping up Office Hours with Dr. Johnson, and I'm wrapping up with some professor tips. And we are at number 9 with planning what you're going to wear to your interviews. We've already gone through 1 through 8. The first one was research the company. The second one was study the job description. The third one was prepare your answers and prepare to answer a STAR method question. The fourth one was practice Socratic questioning. The fifth one was practice answering questions, mock interview. The sixth one was prepare questions to ask. There's a mutual relationship. Number 7 was plan your journey. Don't be rushing to them people job. Number 8 was prepare your tech, just in case if it's a Zoom interview, if you got an interview, at your home or wherever you're at, prepare your tech. Make sure your battery is charged up. Make sure all updates are updated. Prepare your tech. Now, number 9, plan what you're going to wear. Plan what you're going to wear from the day before. Don't try to plan what you're going to wear the day of, the morning of, the afternoon of. Your mind is in other places, not what you're going to wear. Plan your outfit from the day before, okay? Make sure your clothes is ironed. Please make sure your clothes is ironed. I come from a Caribbean background. Whenever my grandma see me in some crushed clothes, it's like I slapped her in her face. Please iron your clothes, iron your shirts, iron your pants, and make sure your shoes are not dirty. Iron your clothes, please. Miss Tiana said, keep a copy of your resume. It's just as important as attire. No harsh colors or super flashy. Thank you so much for pinning that. Thank you so much for saying that. Moderator, can we pin Miss Tiana's comment? I want to pin Miss Tiana's comment for a little bit. I want to pin Miss Tiana's comment, and I also want to review it one more time and reiterate it. Keep a copy of your resume. It's just as important as attire. No harsh colors or super flashy. Do y'all hear that subject matter expert? She just jumped in the live, heard what I was talking about, and dropped a gem. That's what we appreciate. That's what we like. Don't show up to them people job with orange and pink and loud colors on your resume. Black and white is good. On mine, I use a little bit of navy blue and I use black font, white piece of paper, a little navy blue here at the top, and that's it. Keep it simple. Less is always more. Thank you, Miss Tiana. I appreciate you. Number 10. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with number 10. Relax. Just relax. Yes, you may be nervous. Yes, you don't know these people, but just relax. Take some breathers. That's why it's important. Let's run it back. That's why it's important to plan your journey so you have enough time to drive up to them people job, sit in the parking lot for 15 to 20 minutes and relax yourself. Relax. Relax. Yes, an interview can be nerve-wracking. Okay? But you still got to relax. A little bonus tip that I'm going to leave for y'all. Let your personality show. Be yourself. Let your personality show. Please be yourself. Once again, let your personality show. Be yourself. They enjoy that. In this interview, yes, they're trying to determine if you are a good match. They're also trying to determine if you are qualified for the position. 9 times out of 10, if they're calling you for an interview, you're qualified on paper, but they just want to make sure that you are qualified in person. The reason why I say be yourself, the hiring manager knows that their team, his or her team. So when I say be yourself, they want to make sure that you mesh with the current team that you're going to be working with. Be yourself. Now, I'm not saying to be loud and obnoxious and all of that, but be yourself, show personality. If you want to crack a joke here or there or two, and if you see that that's where the vibe is, crack that little joke. But be yourself. Miss Tiana said, yes, be yourself. Interview them just as much as they interview you. It's a mutual situation. It's a mutual relationship. They need you just like how much you need them bills paid. They have a vacancy to fill. Be yourself. Y'all, we wrapping it up. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Miss Tiana, I appreciate you for jumping on in here. Miss Tiana, I think I just posted a video where I was discussing, I'm calling to action all of those who are interested in participating in a conference. Y'all see I do a conference every month now. If you're interested in a conference, drop down in the chat on that video I just posted. Let me know. And let me know what kind of conference you guys would want to participate in, or what kind of conference you guys would like me to host. Okay, Miss Tiana, I think I sent it to you. If you're interested, drop down in the chat and let's bring you back up on a conference, because I know you got a lot to talk about. Y'all, be wrapping it up. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. I appreciate you all for stepping into office hours with Dr. Johnson. We're gonna wrap this up. This was good. This was insightful. This is what it's all about. Okay, Dr. Sims, I'm gonna message you too. I'm gonna message you too, because I need you. Okay, and I need more black male representation who have that. Especially, and y'all, he has that DR in front of his name too. Okay, I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. So, Dr. Sims, I'm gonna message you. We need to talk. Okay, I like to keep things a surprise, so we're gonna have to. I need to pin that. So, you guys, we've interviewed Miss Tiana in the past. Okay, Miss Tiana just came back over into office hours with Dr. Johnson, dropped some gems, and she just said, I have some wins to share. You all know it's never about boasting, bragging over here. It's always and will always be about representation. So when you guys see me on here popping when you see me having my friends and my colleagues pop there as well too, it's to show you that, hey, we look like you, we sound like you. If we are winning in our communities, you guys can win too. Miss Tiana, thank you so much for feeling comfortable enough and for popping your and sharing with us that you have some wins to share. That's what it's all about. It's a lot going on in the community right now, okay? But we still got to win. And Miss Tiana, she did start. You did okay. Okay, hold on. You get me excited. I got to print this too, because when I interviewed you, you were discussing and thinking about. Miss Tiana just said, I just started my DHA program and became an ambulatory practice manager. It's possible, y'all. I want to repeat that for you one more time. Miss Tiana said, I just started my DHA. What is a DHA? A Doctorate of Healthcare Administration. Okay? And Miss Tiana is smart. She got a wild degree. She got, I'm not going to look because I got good memory. Anatomical Sciences. Am I right? Miss Tiana got a master's degree in anatomical sciences or something to that effect. Okay? So I know she got the, she okay. So when I first communicated with her and she told me that she wanted to do a DHA program, I was so proud of her. I always welcome people over to the healthcare administration side. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you. Yes. Oh, there it is. Anatomical and translational sciences. Anybody who can do some science, I appreciate you. Hats down to you. Kudos to you. So I know you're gonna do great in your doctoral program. Congratulations. And guess what? You know what's crazy? I was thinking about going back into the old hospital that I work at and going back into practice management too. I think I want to get back in the ring. I'm in higher education right now. I think I want to get back in the ring. I want to get back in the ring. And you're the second person who has told me about practice management and operations management and how they have been enjoying it. Right. Miss Tiana said she's sharing it to give encouragement. Exactly. Get back in the ring. We need it. Exactly. Y'all, let's wrap this up because I can start preaching on here. Y'all, Dr. Henry, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys all for being here. We're gonna wrap it up, okay, y'all? Until next Tuesday. Until next Tuesday. I'll see you. Deuces in the chat. Can I get some deuces in the chat, please? Can we wrap it up with some deuces? Can we wrap it up? Where my deuces at? Okay, there we go. Okay, all right. Okay, we good. Okay. Have a good night, y'all. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Hold on, November 13th. I'm hosting the Winter Blues and Mental Health panel on November 13th at 7:30 p.m. Okay, so The week of my conference, I will not be hosting a office hours. We just gonna wait till that Thursday and jump right into the conference. The conference is gonna be big. The conference is gonna be needed. Why? Because it's a mental health topic. And we have one of our guests who are in the chat right now, Dr. Michelle Henry. She's gonna be sharing her acquired professional, clinical, and relationship skills. Okay? Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel, November 13th. Where we gonna be at November 13th? Okay. Oh, I like the song. We're gonna wrap it up, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all November 13th. Okay. You know what I'm working on. You know what I'm working on. You know what I'm working on. Anybody got 3% gonna leave it? Okay, I gotta wrap it up. How do I?